very much, Liam, and thank you very much for this event. This is really a useful and interesting event. I want to start, so you can see my presentation. I want to start with playing a tune to put us in context. So this is Luis Fonso Despacito that was currently viewed 8.5 billion times on YouTube. To give perspective on our presentation, when it was viewed 5 billion times in 2018, Fortune calculated that it consumed the energy of 40,000 American homes per year. Just the computing power to allow the 5 billion viewings. So that's to put the topic of AI in perspectives. And now I want to talk about AI hallucinations in students' submissions. So what I'm going to talk about in this presentation is basically two things. The first one is a system that we came up with that identify hallucinations in large language model replies and that we believe can be used to trace use of AI by students. And the second one is an assignment that we developed to try and engage the students in thinking that cannot be assisted by artificial intelligence. So I'll start talking about AI hallucinations just to pose the stage for the magnitude of this phenomena. We've seen cases in the US, we've seen cases in Canada. There was, I heard there was recently a case in Australia. Just to understand the danger, if you read the case in Meta versus Avianca, in which the judge was very critical about the use of hallucinations from ChatGPT, at that stage, ChatGPT actually wrote one of the decisions that the fake case was relying on. And if you read that decision, which is part of the decision of the judge in Meta versus Bianca, you realize it's very hard to tell that this was actually a decision that was written by an AI and not a real judge. I think that illustrates the problem. Now, this is a screenshot from the tool that we've developed. The tool is basically active on AIverifier.pro, but we have some bugs, so it may not work very good, but this is actually a screenshot from the days it was working properly. And that's part of the, I guess, the purposes of this presentation, because we are looking for funding in a grant or any partners that are interested in joining on this tool. What the tool does is it sends a question to 3 large language models, in this case, ChatGPT, Mistral, and Gemini, with this question. My kid stole $100 from a convenience store in Canada. How much trouble could it get in? Then it identified the legal documents in the reply of each large language model and highlight it in different colors. If it's red, it means that it's not available, not in our database of legal documents and nor online. If it's yellow, it was able to find it through Google search, but it wasn't in the database. And if it's green, it means it's solid, it's in the database. Now, what we're planning doing with that is using it for student submissions. So when students submit a paper, it goes through the AI verifier. The AI verifier identifies legal documents in the reply, in the answer of the student, in the essay or whatever, and then check whether it's an hallucination or not. If it is an hallucination, then we're talking about a very serious case of plagiarism. Now, I know that many academics around me, and probably in your universities as well, are talking a lot about the danger in AI plagiarism and so on. And one of the advices that I've heard in the academic setting is look for those references that Turnitin did not highlight, because those could be actually plagiarism, but that's not enough, and it requires a lot of time for academics to actually take those citations, run them through Google, and so on and so forth. So that's where AI Verifier is supposed to assist, at least at the first stage, and obviously it can do a lot of other things as well. So that's the AI verifier. With regards to the assignment that I'm using, so I've been using this assignment of asking the student to create a chatbot diagram of legislation. I've been using this assignment for the last 2 or 3 years in law and technology, and as well in Master of Cybersecurity. And this screen is just to show you how ChatGPT is not equipped to answer those type of questions, and hence the students cannot really use it for that purpose. And this is an example of a diagram that the student actually submitted as a design of a chatbot around the citizenship legislation. And on that front, I want to take you to the student feedback, which I find to be quite amazing. So this unit was so much fun. I really enjoyed getting the opportunity to undertake assignments. And then more specifically on the chatbot, the unique assessment and approach. So I mean, in general, you can see that the students were very satisfied by this type of assignment. It actually made them think differently. They confessed to me that it made them think differently because they needed to create this very elaborated diagram of the legislation. And part of the key aspects they need to master or to learn how to master is to scope their assignment. Are they going to deal with the entire Citizenship Act? Are they going to deal with a specific section? Are they going to deal with part of this section? Are they going to deal with a legal question? So even the scoping of the question was very challenging for the students, and they found it very helpful with regards to this assignment. So I think that's more or less what I had to say about the AI verifier and the chatbot assignment.